We're speaking to Sara this morning. Thank you so much, Sara, for taking time to speak to us on the Light Breakfast.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity as well to share my story, kind of.
Speaking of your story, can you tell us a little bit about your life before you got engaged or before you
um,
met your ex?
yeah, before I got engaged, I was pretty happy with being single actually. I was working in Johor at that time, and I was doing well in work and my career wise. So I think I had everything set for me at that time. I was pretty content with my life actually, and marriage wasn't really on my mind. I was kind of a serial dater at one point, so it wasn't really like something I thought about or like something that was really important to me. So when I saw the ad for it, it was talking about Christina Yang. So I kind of like relate to Christina Yang, sort of, when I started rewatching Grey's Anatomy. So yeah,
Ah,
I was
okay.
just content with myself, I guess, at that time. I was really happy with myself. Um, yeah, I think I was at the peak of my life at that point. In
And
terms,
how
mhm.
did you meet your ex-fiance?
From friends actually. So we hung out once and kind of started talking over Instagram, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So how long were you guys actually together before he popped the question?
Actually, it wasn't that long, so it was only a few months. So I guess that was a red flag. I should have flagged it as sketchy, but so well, he said that he needed to be posted outstation for his job in a few months. So and he was really in love with me and wanted to marry me. So he was the one who actually wanted to be engaged like a few months after we actually
Met.
became serious. Yeah, not met, became serious. We met a few years back actually. Yeah.
Okay. So how long was it? Like how long were you guys together seriously before he actually said, "Okay, let's get married"?
We were together seriously only for a few months, but we've known each other for a few years before, like a couple of years before. So it was only a few months, and then he said that he needed to be posted outstation. So he wants us to have something more serious. So we got
Oh,
engaged.
because if
Sort of
he
like
goes
a
there,
promise, I
right?
guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Now, when
Was
you say that you knew each other, were you friends or you just knew about each other, or
We were friends, like we talked to each other. So we've talked to each other for like a year before we actually became serious, I guess. But it
Okay.
was just like talking biasa lah, normal ones lah, not like talking about relationship or things like that lah.
Never
It
spoke
only,
about the future, about getting married and all that at that point.
yeah, probably we're just like friends at that point lah. And then it only got into a serious relationship a few months before we got engaged.
Okay. But you had a very long engagement. You actually told us that you were engaged for 4 years.
Yeah, nearly 4 years, I guess. Like 3 years, we were engaged for 3 years. So initially, we were planning to get married after 2 years of engagement. But I guess like things kind of happened and like it kind of didn't happen. So I guess that was an indicator that the engagement wasn't really going
so?
towards the
Wait,
marriage at the
you knew
point.
each other for a few months, but you've been engaged for 4 years. That
I guess we're
It was
serious
a
about
long
commitment.
distance, was it? Long distance engagement.
No lah, we were we were both in
Oh, I
KL.
thought you said that he had to be posted to another state and everything.
Oh yeah, he that eventually he wasn't posted to another
Oh,
state.
right,
So
that
I
didn't
guess that's
happen.
why yeah, so I guess that's why it was a very long engagement probably because I was unsure as well
Yeah.
because there are like red flags coming out right after we got engaged. So
There were red
uh,
flags, and you stayed engaged to him.
I made a commitment to my family and like, I made a promise.
All right,
I'm
okay.
that was my mistake, I guess. Like I was a fool for that because I figured that I made a promise to my family and his family as well. It wasn't just involving me and him. And the problem wasn't that it wasn't something that couldn't be changed. It was something that could be worked on. But those are but like eventually it didn't work out that way lah.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
have you
like I loved
started?
him.
Yeah.
I loved him, but sometimes you can have hopes for people and you can have expectations that they could be better, but it essentially depends on them to actually make that change. And my ex didn't make that change after 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Sarah, just one little thing. Can you just move the hair to the back on this side? Yeah, on the microphone side. Yeah.
the
Okay.
covering.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
No
Because
worries.
Is
it
it
was
better?
scratching it a little bit. Yeah.
We're good. We're good now.
Okay.
We're
Now it's
fine.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of hair. Sorry.
We
That's
noticed. Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
But have you started wedding preparations though? When you were
When
engaged? Like, have you planned the
uh
wedding? Have you planned the venue, paid for things?
not yet, but we like right before we broke up actually in January, he started asking about getting married again, and we were planning to get married next year, early next year. But that was before an incident happened lah. So
What do you mean an
Are
incident
you
happened?
willing to share with us that incident?
yeah, sure. He went out with his best friend on Valentine's Day, and I found out via Instagram.
Oh,
Oh, so the plot thickens here. Okay.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
so but that was just the trigger. But it was a lot of problems happening, I think, in the background, that our values didn't match, probably, and our goals didn't match. And we only realized this later on because we were probably too fixated on being in love with each other. And I was only running and at one point I was only running on like blind hope and the love I still felt for this person, just to keep on going with the relationship.
Mm,
Yeah, that was towards the end. Yeah.
okay. But ultimately, what was it that caused the both of you to break up?
Him going out with his best friend
The
on
incident.
Valentine's. Yeah,
Oh.
and because at that time he was unemployed, and so my family is in JB, so he said he had training for work, to get like certifications or permits in Johor. So he even went to see my mom before going on a date with another woman. So yeah. That was
Wow.
the only part of the thing that I was like really not okay with. Like it could have been solved just by telling each other that it's not going to work or anything, things like that. But yeah, that was ultimately what ended the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody needs their own time to grieve a broken
Mm-hmm.
relationship, right?
Right.
How long did it take for you to get to the point of acceptance that this engagement is over?
So this happened actually this year, and during Valentine's this year, and after that was MCO, right?
Yeah.
So I was like stuck there. I couldn't tell my parents because they were back in Johor, so I couldn't travel to them. And telling them online ke apa, I felt wasn't really fair. And all that. But when I asked my friends that I told earlier on, I have two groups of friends that I told my friends at different times. So there are a group of friends that I told immediately after I broke up. And when I checked back with my friend and asked her how long did it take for me to move on, she said it was like, you were okay after a month.
Really?
Yeah, like I needed to check with people because sometimes you can like tell yourself you moved on, but other people might also have a perspective of like the way you tell your stories, the things that you talk about, the ideas that you fixate on. So like this friend of mine is a very close friend, and she's very perceptive as well. So she was like, "You were okay in like a month."
Do you feel okay though within a month? It was a
I
pretty long engagement. I mean, 3 years you were engaged to this person, thinking that you will spend the rest of your life with this person,
Yeah, it's
right?
not boyfriend, girlfriend. This
Yeah.
is like, this guy's going to be my husband.
Yeah, but like I saw that he wasn't committed to being my husband or like being in
Right.
that position. Like I felt that he wasn't serious in that sense. Like you but I couldn't, and like one of the biggest problems in our relationship was that he was insecure with me as well.
Mm.
And how can you tell that to someone you love? And I realized this in late 2018. Actually, I realized that he was not okay with who I am. Essentially, like my education and my career. He wasn't okay with those things about me, and those are the things that I couldn't change. So
So, but
I realized
after
this.
marriage, he wanted you to just stay home and be a housewife or something?
No, actually, but um, I got a new job in late of 2018. That was when he changed. So I couldn't talk about work with him at all. I couldn't discuss anything. I lost his support in some ways. I felt like he wasn't being supportive, and I realized it was because I got that new job.
But you love this job.
Yeah, I loved this job, but I loved him as well,
Mm.
But
right?
he was insecure
So
about the job that you got as well.
yeah, he wasn't really happy when I got the job. Like you can tell, I guess, like if you've been with someone for like 3 years or 2 years, you can probably tell like they're not okay with something. Like he didn't even want to celebrate it. And this was a big deal for me because it was a job with a like really good company.
Mm.
Yeah, so I guess what happened was it started going downhill even worse. It snowballed from there. And I guess that's why it was so easy for me. I mean, not so easy. I mean, it took not that much time for me to move on
Mm.
because I already had this at the back of my mind for the past year or so. Like
Okay.
I realized the only way this would work out is if he would realize that the things that he was insecure about me didn't matter at all
Mm-mm.
to me myself.
Yeah, but what if you already realized this at the back of your mind, right? Why
Mm.
didn't you break up the engagement in November or in 2018?
Love does stupid things to you. Like I said, I was running on blind hope that he would eventually realize. It's not a hard thing for you to realize that your partner is okay with you as you are.
Mm.
It's not a hard thing. Like I was okay with him. He wasn't okay with me.
Oh,
But
Right.
he could be okay with me, right?
yeah.
This is something someone in love would tell themselves. He could be okay with me. He
Mm.
can be if he wants to be okay with me. It wasn't a big problem. Like I had my degree 7 years ago. It doesn't matter anymore to me now. But it seems to be a big deal for him, and he can't get over it and is insecure about it. But how do you say that to your partner, to
Mm.
someone that you love? Like how do you say like, hey bro, like being with me is making you feel insecure, or
Looking back
how do
though,
you
right?
say that?
Looking back now, do you wish that you told him that and then save you
No,
all this hurt?
no. I don't actually. The only thing I regretted about it was the way it ended. Like I didn't need to find out from Instagram, man. Like that's such a low blow. Like you're engaged to me. You should have a little bit of more of respect from you because I didn't cheat. I didn't even text other people. I didn't
Mm.
even look at other men while I was engaged.
And
So
you
at
had to
least
find
give
out on
me,
Instagram. Yeah.
yeah, from the girl's Instagram actually. And at this time he wasn't working, but he was in Singapore.
Mm.
And if you're not working and you don't have an income, like going to Singapore costs a lot.
Yeah.
And he was
Mm.
asking money from me anyway. So like I knew it was at that
There's
point it already got too much.
so many red flags, girl.
This only started like early this year.
Mm.
They're asking for money to go to trainings. It only started early this year. And like because he didn't have a job and these trainings these trainings that he was talking about were for his job.
Mm.
So as like a supportive partner, if it's for his career, I would definitely support. It's not, I didn't know he was going out with a girl to Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's how trusting I am.
so emotionally you checked out quite a while ago in a way.
um I still loved him, I guess, but I guess it, I was also preparing myself in the case that he actually does the worst
Change.
thing, yeah, in my head that could happen.
Mm.
But he did, and he did. It's like, because I don't think I could hurt someone I love by telling them that they're insecure about me. So I I wouldn't go back or do it anyway differently.
Mm. How important was it for you though to have all these issues come out prior to really getting married, and having to spend the rest of your life with this person?
Um, so when it happened in February, I was kind of a wreck. Not really a wreck lah. Like I was
Upset, I'm
upset,
sure. Yeah.
upset. Yeah, I was upset. I went through the whole like denial phase, and all that. But and I thought that during my birthday during my birthday this year, I would be desolate or really really heartbroken, but I was actually happy. My friends came over for my birthday to my apartment, and we had like a small celebration. I was really happy and I was really content, and I was so relieved actually. If you would ask me to give one word, it would be relieved. I'm relieved that I didn't get married to him,
Mm,
and I'm relieved that he did what he did.
okay. But
Yep.
sometimes I think one of the more difficult things, especially for Asian families, is to have to explain the breakup to your family. How did you said they were in JB at the time, so you couldn't
Yeah.
tell them in their
No.
faces. But when you did, or when you told them, how did they actually how did they react?
So I actually told my aunt first because my aunt lives in Mount Kiara, so I went over to see her, and she was like, "I told you from before, you should have just left it. He's not fit for you. I asked you this question. If you brought him to a dinner party, can he carry a conversation?"
Wow. Wow. I told
My
you so
aunt,
talk. Okay.
Okay.
yeah, I told you so, Tom. And I said to her, like, I needed to go through it anyways. Like, for me, I'm that stubborn person who needs to learn her lessons the hard way. So she was the one who actually pushed me to tell my parents. It was really hard for me to
Mm,
tell my parents because, like, it's, I don't know whether it was the distance. I didn't want them to worry about me because essentially I was really okay.
mm,
But this was an official thing, and in Malay tradition, it's like officially you promise to get married and all that, so it needs to be officially broken as well. So I, by hook or by crook, I do need to tell my parents. So actually, my aunt talked me through it, and we decided to tell my dad first, and then to get my brother to tell my mom.
why? Your mom
Are you afraid of disappointing them, or are
your
you afraid?
mom
Yeah. What? Why?
would not
Okay,
allow you to do it or what?
no, okay. So do you know that there are two types of youngest child um behavior? So I'm
Okay.
the one that gets blamed for a lot of things. So
Oh no. Okay.
yeah, I fall under that spectrum like for no reason. I don't know why, but I fall under that spectrum. So I was afraid that my mom would in some way want to comfort me and want to try to make it better, but instead by kind of blaming me thing. Yeah, I was afraid that she would blame me for it,
Mm.
and it wasn't. I was just afraid of her feeling as if I don't know, but I was uncomfortable telling my mom.
You were afraid
So
that you might hurt her feelings, I guess.
I guess so, and I was afraid of her reaction, and if it was the wrong reaction, I was I was afraid of how I would feel because
Mm.
then it would be my relationship with my mother being
Okay.
compromised. So that's why I had my brother tell my mom, but I told my dad. My dad was pretty supportive. So when I first called him, he was like, and I told him that I've broken up, and he was like, why? He's like, why lah? He's like, why lah? So and then I said like, okay, so Papa, do you trust me? I said, do you trust me? And he's like, yes, yes, of course I do trust you. So and I said, it's for the better. That I'd rather be alone than be married to someone wrong.
Mm.
So that's it lah. And my dad was the only thing my dad said was whatever it is, even though this has ended, we as our adab would ask us to still be cordial to his family as well because it was a family
Yep, yep.
promise made. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was it.
So you didn't tell exactly what happened.
I guess I gossiped when I got back home finally, but it
Okay.
was delayed. So a delayed story is not as hot as like when it happens.
So this is what happened, but later on the gossip was like, so actually this is what really happened. But it's already time has already
Yeah.
passed, right? Okay.
But how
Yeah.
about like your mom? Did she give you any advice?
No. I talked about it, but like my mom is so triggering sometimes. Sorry. But like yeah, when so I did say that my ex went to visit my mom
Yeah,
before going on a date, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and so my mom was like, yeah, you said he was so busy, yeah, but actually he was just lying to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But is marriage still important to you? Do you still want to get married?
It wasn't important before. So right, it wasn't even important before, but like I think marriage is important with the right person.
Mm.
And at this point I kind of know what I want and what I don't want. I know what my I for sure have internalized all my deal breakers by now. So yeah, probably something I would do with the right person, but I'm pretty okay with being perpetually single.
So you're not.
I have 3 cats, by the way.
Oh, so you're a cat lady now,
Yeah, not now. I've always been a cat
right?
lady.
So you're
Yep.
not into those. Oh, I need to be married by 30. I need to have kids by whatever age and everything. You don't have those worries.
No, no, I
Okay.
don't.
That's
Yeah,
a
because
modern career woman talking there.
That's good.
yeah, essentially, if you're being with someone like my ex was not supportive of my hopes and dreams. I didn't want to take. I postponed taking my masters because I felt that if I did take it, it will make him feel even more bad about himself in some ways or something. I didn't want to hurt him. So so now I
So
guess I can do
essentially
whatever I want to do.
you were holding yourself back because you didn't want to offend him in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I guess I'm so relieved when it finally ended because I was giving up all the bukan I was giving up. I can't say I was not sacrificing lah, but I was trying to make him feel comfortable, but he was doing the opposite instead. So I guess probably he wanted to break up but didn't know how to say.
Sacrifice. Okay.
Okay. Do you think
Not a
life
sacrifice.
do you think life has changed? Do you think life has changed for you after this incident?
Yeah, I finally decided. So I've been living in KL since 2016, and we have been together since 2016. So the whole time I've been in KL, I've been in a relationship with him. So after we broke up, I decided to get my own, to rent my own apartment. So I've been living alone for the first time. Before this, I had like roommates and all that. So I've made big life changes, I guess. Living alone is so different from having housemates. You're alone and you only get to talk to your cats, but they talk back, so it's fine. Um, so, but and I've been focusing on myself a lot in terms of growing, in terms of learning more, um, taking care of myself better. Like before this, I had like my skincare routine was nothing, but now like I have all this like acid thing or whatever, I don't know. So self care a bit more, and I think it's nice that I get to have this me time to sort of recalibrate and look at what's important to me now and to me in the future. So I'm looking at retirement homes, those kind of things.
What? What?
Looking at the retirement homes, that's what she said. But Sarah, you are active in the dating scene now. You are actively dating people now, aren't you?
Yeah, I have a 4-year backlog according to my friend.
So what, you're trying to catch up now?
No, no, I'm not trying to catch up. The boys that have been looking
Oh,
for
I
four
see, I
years
see.
are
Okay.
trying to catch up. So yeah, when I first broke up, I had to deal with the 4-year backlog.
I
So
see. All the
Okay.
wait lists, the wait list of boys
the
were
ones
trying to get.
watching on Instagram all this time and it's sliding into
Swipe
your
right.
DMs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not on Tinder though. I'm not on any dating platforms.
So, how difficult was it then for you to get back into the dating scene, so to speak?
Um, not that hard actually.
Everything's just going with the flow. I love it.
It's I've been waiting for this 1.5 years. Like, come on, bring it on. But
Mm.
like, but like, I think dating at this age is very tiring. Like, I
What? Why?
really, what?
Why?
Like, I have work and then I have like 3 cats.
But are you a little bit more wary with your heart now? Like, do you still give yourself as freely to these other potential future
Mates.
husbands?
I'm a hopeless romantic. I think I read one too many romance novels and it kind of like brainwashed me. But I'm not I'm not the kind who gets scared because of someone else's mistake. And even my one of my closest friends told me like, Sarah, you can't penalize another person for someone else's mistake. And
Mm.
every guy is different kind of thing. So yeah, it's not really that hard to get into the dating scene, I guess. For me,
So
it's
the
not
next
really a
guy,
problem.
so the next guy
Hmm?
that comes along and says you've been dating for a few months with this guy, let's just say, and then he says, "Hey, let's get married." Aren't you gonna be going? I don't know.
Well, it depends on the guy, I guess. Not everyone's the same. Like
Mm.
my ex was pretty sketch, I guess. In that, no, it's not because I'm mad at him. It's just that he said a lot of things that were not true, so pretty sketch. But like, I guess this time around, like I was ignoring the red flags, so I wasn't even being like minimally cautious with that relationship. But going forward, if I see red flags, I definitely think about those red flags
Mm.
and adjust accordingly. Yeah. And now I'm very, very sure of the things that I'm okay with and not okay with. I'm so clear on my deal breakers now. And I at 29, you kind of have this perception. You have this can get a feel of people, I guess. And next time I'll ask for my friend's opinion without my rose-colored answers, I guess. Because I mean, like I said, love is makes you stupid.
Yeah, it does sometimes. Now, Sarah, what's your advice to someone who might be going through something similar and is probably still grieving at this moment?
Um, the thing about traumas or situations, uncomfortable situations, is that we tend to shove them under the rug, thinking that if we can't see it, that means it didn't happen. But my advice is to face it head on. It's fine if you want to dissect the whole situation, break it down, look at what you did wrong. It's okay to admit that you have done wrong things. Like for me, I was not proactive. I stayed there.
Mm.
I stayed there hoping on empty hope. I shouldn't have done that. But it's not something I would take back. But if you ask me, um, I the only way you can accept something, moving on is essentially is accepting what happened. So for me, I dissect the situation. I go over it. I go over the good times and the bad times, and then I look back at it and look at where I went wrong, where I could have done better, and finally, the hardest part I think is accepting that someone hurt us, someone that we love, someone that we really love and someone that we trusted to take care of us actually hurt us. I think that's the hard part. And also the hard part is admitting that we used to be in love with someone that was not good for
Mm.
us.
Mm.
Not essentially not good for the world, but not good for us. That wasn't a good fit for us. So if it was good, it would have happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But before moving on, you need to accept the whole situation, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the messy, because it happened.
Mm.
And all those feelings that you feel, it's okay to feel them. Denial or sadness or grief is okay, because we did commit in some ways to it and it didn't happen. But as Trump would say, it is what it is. I moved on, right?
I love that
Oh,
Trump
God.
quote. Love it. It is
Oh,
what it is.
it's more than
Right, like I've moved on, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like,
Okay.
yeah, we can't change how people that we love hurt us. It happened.
Mm.
I can't get over that. I'm sorry. I'm
But
still
you
on
can
that.
change yourself
Yeah,
and
you
look
can
at it.
change
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, when you dissect the situation, look back on your actions and your reactions, you can kind of know what not to do next time. When to give up and when to pull out, when there's only you just hoping there.
Mm. Okay.
Right.
So do you wish that you have pulled out of this relationship earlier then, looking back?
I wish I didn't get engaged, but like
Mm.
otherwise, like he was a good man. Well, he was a good man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
But it
but
is
it
what
taught
it
me a
is.
lot. Yeah, but yeah, and it taught me a lot. So, and I know myself better now. So I'm really, really grateful it kind of happened. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for your time.